Hello, my name's Mr. Hedges and I'm the Head of Law and Politics at St Ivo Academy Sixth Form. I'm also the Coordinator for the Extended Project Qualification and Assistant Head in the Sixth Form. So welcome to this presentation all about A-Level Politics. I hope you find it informative, and if you have any further questions then please don't hesitate to get in touch. My email address is at the end of the presentation. Thank you for listening. Welcome to this presentation. Thank you for joining me, and I will be talking you through the A-Level Politics course that we deliver here at St Ivo Academy. Politics is an exciting subject because people disagree. In fact, conflict is endemic throughout this course. People disagree about how they should live, the rules and the principles that govern our behaviour. People disagree about how power should be distributed. People disagree over who should get what. People disagree about how society is organised. Should society be based on people cooperating together or people competing against each other? So debate and disagreement lies at the very heart of this course, and throughout this presentation I will be talking you through the topics that you will study over 2 years at the Sixth Form at St Ivo Academy. So at the Sixth Form here at St Ivo Academy, we follow the Edexcel A-Level Politics course. It's a 2-year linear course, which means that the exams will be sat by students at the end of year 13. So I'm just going to give you a brief overview of the topics that we study throughout year 12 and then the topics that you'll go on to study in year 13. So in year 12, we begin the course studying UK politics and core political ideas. In UK politics, we study topics such as democracy and participation, political parties, voting behaviour, and electoral systems in the UK. So basically, this unit is all about people and the groups and organisations that participate in politics here in the UK. The study of core political ideas will cover 3 mainstream core ideologies, and they will be liberalism, socialism and conservatism. And students will go on to study the work of key thinkers, and we will go through that in a bit more detail later on in this presentation. UK government is all about the institutions and the organisations, the wider institutions and organisations that we are familiar with here in the UK, such as the UK Parliament and the unusual nature of our constitution in the UK, and also the Prime Minister and the executive branch, the cabinet, and how all these institutions work together in our political system. In year 13, we move on to study US politics. In fact, students will begin to study US politics at the end of year 12 in the summer term by looking at the key principles contained within the US Constitution. And then finally, at the end of year 13, we bring it all together by looking at how the UK and the US political systems compare. So as I mentioned a few moments ago, students will begin their study of A-Level politics in year 12 by studying the UK politics and core political ideas component. I mentioned that this is all about people and groups that participate in politics in the UK, but it's also about the influence that they have and the influence that they have over policy decisions. So whether that might be pressure groups such as Greenpeace or the British Medical Association, and how their ideas may influence the policies that are being developed by our decision makers in government. The addition to this new specification is the impact that the media has on people's voting patterns. So we will look at the impact of social media, the newspaper press, and television news, even the TV debates that have been a big part of election campaigns in the UK over the last 10 years. This unit is assessed at the end of year 13 through a 2-hour exam, which comprises of 3 essay questions, one of which is a source-based essay, which means that the students will analyse a source and their answer will be drawn from the information that is presented in the source. And that is equal to 1/3 of the A-level grade. So component 2 is called UK Government and Non-Core Political Ideas. Students will begin to study some of the topics here, like Parliament and the Prime Minister, towards the end of the autumn term in year 12. So as I mentioned earlier, this is all about the institutions of government, so slightly different. We do look at people, such as the role of the Prime Minister, and students will have to learn 2 in-depth case studies of Prime Ministers. One must be pre-97. At St Ivo we study both John Major and Margaret Thatcher, and then students must study one 1997 onwards Prime Minister, and we will study Tony Blair and the New Labour government from 1997 onwards. There's also a topic here about the relationship between the institutions. It's called Relations Between Branches, and this topic is where students will see how Parliament and the executive branch interact, but also institutions like the Supreme Court and the influence that the UK Supreme Court has had on the political system in the UK. We'll also look at the impact of the European Union. Obviously, that's an ever-changing relationship, but we will look historically at the impact the EU has had on policies over the years. And then finally, nationalism is our non-core political idea. This particular ideology, we will study more contemporary key thinkers, such as the work of the black nationalist Marcus Garvey. Again, this unit is assessed through a 2-hour exam, which comprises of a further source-based essay and 2 standalone essays. The final component is called Comparative Politics. That's a bit misleading because the comparative politics element takes the form of 2 slightly shorter questions. We call them synoptic questions that compare UK and US, but we don't actually study those until towards the end of year 13. So the bulk of the work in year 13 will be looking at the topics that you can see in front of you. They loosely mirror the topics that we study in year 12 in UK politics, such as Congress, and we will go on to study Congress and compare with the UK Parliament, for instance, and same with the presidency. We will then go on to study the comparisons between the president and the UK Prime Minister. In addition, we will look in depth at the role of the US Supreme Court, which is the 3rd branch of government in the United States, and look at a range of key cases, particularly in the areas of public policy. So Supreme Court cases that have influenced, for instance, the passing of the Affordable Care Act, which is known as Obamacare, and also cases that have had a major impact on public policy areas such as gay marriage and also gun control, which is obviously a very contentious issue in the United States of America. So an essential part of being a successful politics student in the 6th form is the ability to keep up to date with the news. And with the rise of social media and sites like Twitter and Facebook, there's never been a better opportunity to keep your finger on the pulse and keep up to date. And obviously 2020 has been a huge year in the world of politics. in the UK and beyond. So we will be looking throughout the course at the latest developments in the political landscape in the UK and the USA, such as the UK government's response to the COVID-19 crisis, Brexit, obviously, and we have the 2020 US presidential election coming up very soon. And so by the time students begin their study of politics next year, we will have we will know the results of the presidential election. Potentially, there will be a new president in the White House. The skill of keeping up to date takes a while to develop, and from the outset in year 12, I will be encouraging students to seek out examples, relevant examples, using a variety of media forms. Students quite often ask me, why should I pick politics? What skills will I get from picking politics? Well, I think politics is a subject that works very well within a range of other A-level subjects. Many students that choose to study politics also study history or law, ethics. English literature also works very well with A-level politics. But some other things that you might want to consider. I'm a examiner for the Edexcel course that we study here, so I have first-hand insight into what examiners are actually looking for those top grade answers. We have a really good track record over the past few years in terms of results, and many of our students go on to study politics at university, and we had one student go on to study politics and history at Oxford in 2018. As you would expect with the study of any A-level in the sixth form at St Ivo, students won't go short of resources. We will provide students a range of online resources for A-level politics, online textbooks, and various other links to useful sites that will support them in their studies. Well, thank you for listening to this presentation. I hope that any questions that you may have had, I've covered. But if I haven't answered your question, then please do not hesitate to email me. That's my email address there, you can see on the slide. I'll look forward to hearing from you, and thank you for listening.